Hello dear students, welcome back to your chemistry class. Hope you all are learning well from the online class portal. We have studied about the properties of solid and liquids. Hope you all understand well. Now let us move towards our next topic, that is properties of gases. The first point, the same like in solids and liquid, that the gases have neither definite shape nor fixed volume. Like in solid we have studied that it have a fixed shape and a fixed volume. In liquids we have studied that liquids doesn't have a fixed shape but it is having a fixed volume. But in gases they doesn't have definite shape nor a definite volume. Why it is like that? Because whatever container you will put, it will take the shape of that container, and even the volume has been also, it will occupy the volume of that container also. So that is why the properties of gases, that they doesn't have a definite shape nor a fixed volume. Next is the spaces between the particle is maximum. If you will see the diagram, the gases particles are very far away as compared to the solid and liquids. So that is why the spaces between the particle is, like we will see in liquids, there are empty spaces, but it is then also it is very less you can consider. But if you will see in the gases, the particles are far away from each other. So that means the spaces between the particle is maximum as compared to the solid and liquid. The force of attraction between the particle is minimum. As we all know that particles are at a larger distance, so it means the force of attraction which has been applied between the particle, it should be minimum, because they can't able to attract each other easily as compared to the solids and liquids. The movement of particle is maximum, but because they are far away, they are free to move, they are getting the space. Like if suppose in a big hall you are alone, so what, it's very easy for you to move in the whole hall. But suppose there was a hall and there are 1000 people, so is it easy for you to move? No. So the same way here it is also, that the movement of the particle is maximum because they are having the empty spaces and they are free to move here and there. The next and the last is the rate of diffusion is highest. As we all know, because the empty spaces between the gases is large enough, and that is why the rate of diffusion, other matter will be easily gets the space to occupy that spaces, and that is why the rate of diffusion is highest in the gases as compared to the liquids and the solids. Now let us go and study about the difference between the molecular arrangement of solid, liquid and gas. We have already studied, but if you will go through the arrangement of molecules, we have studied, but let us just revise that. If you will see the arrangement of solid, that the molecules are very closely, or you can say very tightly packed. They have very less intermolecular space also, if you will consider, and that is why the intermolecular force is maximum. And if you will go with the liquids, you can see the molecules are far away, but as compared to the gases, it is nearer. So that is why it has been considered it is intermediate status having in the liquid. And in the gases, if you will consider, they are very far away from each other. And that is why if you will see the solid, because they are tightly packed, they are having the most intermolecular forces. The liquids are little bit closer, or you can say they are loosely bonded. That is why they are having the intermolecular force is intermediate as compared with the solid and the gases. It means the gases are having the least intermolecular forces. So this is the differentiation between the molecular arrangement of solid, liquid and gas. Now let us move towards the characteristics which we have already studied. Let us tabulate the difference. The first is given about the shape. We all know solid have the fixed shape, but if you will move towards the liquid, they doesn't have the fixed shape because they take the shape of the container. The same applies with the gas also, so they also doesn't have a fixed shape. Next is characteristic is about volume. Again, the solid is having a fixed volume, and liquid is also having a fixed volume. But when you will move towards the gases, it doesn't have a fixed volume. Third is about rigidity or fluidity. Rigidity is a term which is used for hardness. That is why if you will see, if you have to break a brick, you have to apply more pressure on it. So solids are generally hard as compared to the liquid and the gases. And fluidity is a term which has been considered the matter or the substance which can flow. Means they are able to flow, and that term is being considered as fluidity. So if you will go with the solid, they are rigid, they are hard, but it cannot flow. If you will consider, they are not able to flow, so they cannot flow. If you will consider the liquid, they are not rigid, they are not hard, and they can flow. How you can consider that they can flow? Just take a glass of water and just pour it on the floor. What you will see, within seconds you will see that the water starts flowing. You all know now, that is why the rain occurs. You will see that the water flows and then it goes into the river, then from the river it just goes into the sea. So that is why, because they are having the property of fluidity. The same applies with the gas, that they are also not rigid. We all know gases are not rigid, and even they can flow. That is why now we are spraying the air freshener or the perfume you are using. We just spray it at a point and it will reach us to the next corner. Why it is? Because it is also having the property of flowing from one place to another. So that is, it can also flow. The fourth is intermolecular force. We have studied that it is maximum in solid, less than solid in liquid, and gases, they are very very less, or you can say minimum. If you will go with the intermolecular space, in solid it is very less because they are very tightly packed. In liquid it is more as compared to the solid, and in gas it is maximum. Next is compressibility. What is compressibility? It is considered as a pressure which has been applied on the matter or any substance. So if you will compress a solid, like suppose there is a brick and you will apply the pressure, not by your hand suppose. So what happened? It is considered as negligible. Means you can't compress solid. It is very very negligible. In some cases it applies, but it is negligible, you can consider. Next, if you will move towards the next, that is liquid, it has been considered it is compressible, and in gas it is considered as highly compressible. That is why you have heard the term CNG, that is compressed natural gas. Means gases are easily compressed, and that is why in CNG which we are using the natural gas which has been compressed. So these are the characteristics by which we can differentiate between solid, liquid and gases. Hope you all have understood and cleared what is solid, what is liquid and gas, and even the properties also. And now you are able to differentiate between the three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. Thank you.